War always ended with a ceremony. Not for celebration but for ownership. The victorious chose spoils. The defeated swallowed shame. I stood in the center of the Hall of Chains, a cavernous chamber on the shattered world of Draxus. Columns of black stone rose like broken teeth, and torches spat pale green fire. The Zereth Empire had been broken at last, their banners dragged through ash, their soldiers disarmed. Rows of their captured survivors were displayed before us, soldiers, nobles, and commoners alike, lined up for the conqueror's choosing. I was Captain David Rourke of Earth's 7th Expeditionary Corps. My armor was scarred, the paint dulled by soot, but the sigils of victory glowed across my chest. My men stood behind me, whispering bets about what prize I would claim. They expected me to choose the obvious. A regal Zereth noblewoman, tall and lithe with scales that shimmered like gemstones, their beauty infamous across the galaxy. But my eyes were not on them. She stood near the end of the line, half hidden in shadow. Taller than most, her frame hunched as though she wanted to fold herself into nothing. Her skin was mottled with gray and brown patches, her crest of spines broken and uneven. One eye clouded with a milky film, the other burning with quiet intensity. She was, by Zereth standards, grotesque. Even to human eyes, she seemed more creature than woman. The hall grew silent when my turn came. I stepped forward, boots echoing on stone. The Marshal of the Concord, who presided over the spoils, gestured to the line. "Captain Rourke," he intoned, his voice booming, "choose your prize." Every gaze turned toward the jeweled captives, except mine. I raised my hand and pointed to her. "The ugly one." The whispers behind me sharpened into gasps. "That one," I said. The Marshal blinked, stunned. "You are certain, Captain? There are nobles of rank here, worth." I said that one. My voice cut like steel. The alien woman's good eye widened, confusion flickering across her ruined face. The Marshal frowned, but tradition bound him. He shoved her forward with a sneer. "So be it. She is yours." The soldiers muttered behind me as I led her away. "Of all of them, he picks that. Maybe he hit his head in the last battle. Ugliest creature in the line, and he takes her like a prize jewel." I ignored them. We returned to our quarters, a temporary camp beneath Draxus' broken sky. She followed silently, her gait awkward, like she wasn't used to chains but bore them anyway. When the guards left us, I finally spoke. "You don't need to pretend anymore." Her head snapped up. Her good eye narrowed. "Pretend." Her voice was deep, gravelly, and carried weight. I removed the chain from her wrists and stepped back. "I know who you are." For the first time she straightened. The hunch faded. Her ruined form seemed less ruined. A presence radiated from her, heavy and commanding, like the echo of a battlefield drum. "You should not know," she said carefully. "Everyone thought you were executed 3 years ago," I replied. "But I fought enough battles to recognize the stories. The broken general of Zereth. The one who never lost a campaign until Earth entered the war. That's you." Her lip curled into something between a sneer and a smile. "And yet here I stand, chained and disgraced." I shook my head. "No. You hid. You wanted them to think you were dead. This disguise, this ugliness, it's clever. Hide among the unwanted, and no one sees the threat." She studied me for a long moment. "Why reveal me now? Why not expose me to your superiors and claim glory?" "Because I don't want glory," I said. "I want peace. And you're the only one who can give it." In the days that followed, I kept her presence quiet. To the others, she was just my strange choice of prize. I treated her with respect, offering food, water, and freedom within my quarters. Slowly, she began to speak more. Her name was Zillara. Once she had commanded legions. She spoke of strategies and histories, of victories carved in blood and fire. Yet she also spoke of disillusionment. "My people worship strength," she told me one night as the fires burned low. "But strength without compassion rots." When I questioned the emperor's conquests, I was branded a traitor. My death was staged, and I was cast into obscurity. Better to be ugly and forgotten than brilliant and hunted. I leaned forward. "You don't believe in the empire anymore." Her gaze hardened. "I believe in my people. They need someone to lead them into survival, not endless slaughter." But who would follow a broken general thought dead? "Maybe," I said softly, "they'd follow someone who stood back up." She tilted her head, studying me. "Why do you care, human?" "Because Earth knows what it's like to bleed under conquest. We fought to exist in a galaxy that thought us savages. If there's a chance to end bloodshed with something other than annihilation, I'll take it." Weeks passed. The War Tribunal prepared to dismantle what remained of the Zereth Empire. Nobles were executed, soldiers scattered. But rumors began to stir. Whispers of a hidden leader who might unite the survivors. It all came to a head when a faction of desperate Zereth loyalists attacked our camp. In the chaos, they stormed my quarters, believing Zillara a vulnerable captive. I stood my ground, rifle blazing, but they overwhelmed us. Chains clattered to the floor as one soldier sneered at her. "Pathetic wretch. You disgrace our kind." But then she moved. Faster than I'd ever seen, she struck, ripping his weapon free and driving him to the ground. She whirled every inch the general I'd imagined, her voice booming with command. "Stand down," she roared, her eye blazing. "You call yourselves warriors. Then hear me. Your empire is ash, and your emperor is dust. Follow me or die chasing ghosts." The loyalists froze, torn between rage and awe. Slowly weapons lowered. Her words hit like thunder, breaking them where no blade could. When silence fell, she turned to me. For the first time, she looked almost vulnerable. "You gave me back my voice," she said. I smiled grimly. "And you just saved my life." In the aftermath, the Concord demanded answers. Why had a human captain shielded an enemy general? Why hadn't I turned her in? I stood before the council, Zillara beside me, not in chains but in dignity. "Because she's not our enemy anymore," I said firmly. "She can end this war better than we can. Execute her, and you'll create a martyr. But let her live, let her lead, and you'll have peace." The council argued for hours, but in the end, pragmatism won. They agreed, barely, to release her under strict terms. Zillara bowed her head before them. "I will not fail my people again." The day she left our camp, hundreds of Zereth refugees gathered. They looked at her ruined form, her scarred face, her broken crest, and then they looked deeper into the fire of her eye. And one by one they knelt. She turned to me before departing. "You chose me when no one else would have. You saw what I was, not what I looked like. That choice changed everything." I extended my hand. She clasped it, firm and resolute. "Good luck, General." Her lip curved into the faintest smile. "Goodbye, Captain." Months later, peace began to spread across Draxus. Reports told of a leader who united the scattered Zereth, not with tyranny, but with tempered strength. A broken general who became a savior. And every time I read her name, I remembered the day in the Hall of Chains, when all the galaxy saw an ugly prize. But I saw the truth.